Gurrll.
Gurrll, it ain't Dawn, it's Dale. That's right, I am taking over the podcast. I am the Love and Life Coach, Dale Lawrence, as you know. And listen, today is a very special episode. You see the title, A New Dawn. And I present to you, not the one you've been seeing, but the transformation and transfiguration of the new Dawn Griffith.
Hello.
Hey, look at you, girl. You're shining. You're looking good.
I had to wear the gold.
Oh, baby, you're doing it.
Bling.
Come on, girl. Bring the bling out. This is incredible. I'm talking about 360 transformation, focus, determination. It's so much we gonna get into today, but listen, we got to take them from the beginning. Now, a lot of people don't know that, okay, they may have saw you when Gurrll first started, right? We first released the Gurrll podcast, but before then, girl, you was a whole different type of Dawn. Let's take them back to the very beginning. How much did you weigh? What was going on with you mentally, emotionally, spiritually? Let's go there.
Okay, so I'm going to take it back to probably my entire life. I was always the fat kid. I was the last one to be chosen in elementary school for kickball, anything.
Mm-hmm,
You know, I was always the fat kid.
Mm-hmm.
And up through my adult life, I think when I finally made the decision that I was fed up with this crap, I got up to 385 pounds. And that was in 2016. And I mean, mentally, physically, spiritually, I was a hot mess, like hot mess express. That was what it was. And, you know, I had gone through every diet plan you can think of, you name it, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, Phentermine, low carb, everything. Nothing stuck. I would lose weight. I'd do really good. I'd lose 100 pounds and then I'd gain back 150. And that's how it just kept stacking up. Like everything.
Okay.
And I finally got to the point to where I was just sick of myself. I talk about that in the Proverbs 31 book. Like, I was the problem in a lot of situations, and I got sick of me. And that was the turning point. I moved to Nashville in 2009 to go to work in the music industry. From 2009 to 2016, nobody would hire me because I didn't have music industry experience, all this stuff. And I finally got my foot in the door of this company. It was a fintech company. And, you know, I was like, okay, that's the first step. Like I'm doing what I wanted to do. So I'm working in the music industry now. And I started doing research. I had insurance and I would go to doctors to talk about weight loss surgery. Insurance won't cover it. Like, it's crazy. Most insurance will not cover that. So I kept researching, and I discovered that you can go to Tijuana, Mexico, and have the same procedures in Mexico that you can do here for like a fourth of the cost. It would have cost me like $40-something thousand out of pocket back then to go to have the surgery here. It cost me $5,000 in Mexico.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, I made the decision. Like, I didn't even tell nobody. Like, I was like doing all my research. I had one friend that I told because me and her shared an office. And I said, this is what I'm going to do. So before I got there, though, God took me through a process. And it was crazy because first he had me to fast. And it was the first time I'd ever fasted. And I didn't know nothing about fasting. One of my friends bought me a book on fasting. And, you know, that really broke off a lot of the things. Like, my life was kind of crazy from the time I was 13 up until I got married. We'll talk about that later and on different episodes. But that's how I got to that weight. Like, I had no discipline, number one. No discipline whatsoever. I ate what I wanted. I would binge eat. I didn't exercise. I didn't take care of myself. And there was times in my life that my only prayer was like, Lord, I don't want to wake up tomorrow. And there was just like this disgust. I was just disgusted with life.
Do you think it was depression or childhood trauma that had you eating like you were?
I think it was a little bit of everything. Definitely depression. I wasn't happy where I was at financially. You know, I wasn't happy in the relationship that I was in at the point where I had made the decision prior to that really got me to that weight. And then it was also the childhood stuff. Like, I never had any discipline. I raised myself from the time I was 13. Like, I didn't have nobody telling me you don't need to eat all that sugar for breakfast and donuts and all this stuff. So it was a combination of all of that. But then, you know, like I said, the Lord was like, fast. And I said, okay, I can fast for 3 days. So I started reading that book. And I was like, okay, Lord, I'm going to read this book. I'm going to do everything you say. And I'm going to fast for 3 days. 40 days.
Wow, you did a 40 days out the gate.
40 days, my very first
Cold
fast.
turkey.
And I had not solid food. So that's kind of bad English. But I had like protein shakes, like cream of chicken soup. Just not solid food. So I fasted from things, but not like I couldn't eat
I thought you was
anything.
talking old school, like
no,
straight water in the word.
I don't know. Let me tell you. Jello, pudding, stuff like that. Because we were on tour with the movie at this time, too.
Okay.
Like, we were going city to city, taking the movie and showing it and stuff. And I remember one time we were in... I think we were in South Carolina, and they had a big cookout for us because we were in town. I was like, golly, Jesus, what are you doing? And I had like this vision, and it was like I had these they looked like cherubim, and they were holding up my arms, and it was like they were carrying me. And I made it. Like, I didn't break the fast for 40 days. I did exactly what the Lord told me to.
Okay.
And so when I finally broke that fast, I got pneumonia, and I was a month out from my surgery. Like, I had got the doctor in Tijuana. Pompey Medical is where I went, and I'd done my research and everything. I got pneumonia, and I was like, oh, no, devil. Like, you're not going to stop me from having this surgery. So I went to the doctor here, and I told her it was walking pneumonia, and I said, I got to have surgery in a month. I said, you give me a shot. I don't care what you got to do, but I have got to be able to, like, go and have surgery. And so she did. Like, she was really down to help me. She gave me every shot she could give me. I kept fasting, and the time came. It was May of 2017.
Wow.
And I flew to Tijuana. My friend went with me. I had to stay. I went down there. Like, this, like, people aren't made like us. We always say that. I flew down there on a Tuesday. I had blood work on Wednesday, surgery on Thursday. I was back home by Sunday and back at work by that following Tuesday.
Had the blood going up on a Tuesday.
I mean, like, I remember my boss calling me, and she was like, "Can you help me?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll be there." Like, like it was so anointed.
Wow.
That when I got up, when they brought me out, and I think I've gone way ahead of myself, but this is really important. This is why it's so important for you to fast and pray before you do any major thing like this, because when the surgery was over and they brought me out of the anesthesia, I sat up on the side of the bed and was like, what are we doing now? And all of the nurses, I remember all their faces were like, they said, you are laying back down and you're going to recovery.
Yeah.
I was walking that night. I was up walking around, like, ready to go. Like, it was.
So what type of surgery was it, and how much did it shed off you at that time?
So that one was a gastric bypass.
Okay.
No, that one was a gastric sleeve. And I lost down from 385. I lost like 40 pounds before I had the surgery because of all the fasting and everything. So I lost from 345 down to 199. That was the smallest that I got.
Wow.
And I was working out every day, walking, running, like doing everything that I was supposed to do, and felt good. Like my body felt good. I was energized. I had no complications whatsoever. Like it was so anointed. And then COVID happened. So this was 2017. COVID happened, and I couldn't go to the gym anymore, but I could still walk my block.
Right.
And that's what I would do. I'd walk my block several times a day. I had dogs back then, and they were like, if you take us with you one more time, because I was walking. Like every time I'd get a break, I was walking the block. Me and my friend, we were doing, they're called step bets, and you go and you have to do like at least 10,000 steps a day, or it'll build you up as you get higher. So that's what we were doing. We were like step betting.
Yeah.
And if it was raining, I'd be walking in circles in the house trying to get my steps in. So I was determined, and I gained some of it back. But let me tell you about the mental part.
Let's go there.
Yeah.
Like what type of, how did you prepare for it mentally?
So,
especially since you've never been disciplined.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the fasting part helped a lot because that helped me break up with food. Like that part, it was like,
I like the way you said that, break up with food.
and you have to break up with food. Like you can't, if all your life food was my emotional support blanket.
Sure.
So I had to break up with it. Like I wasn't living to eat anymore. I was eating to live. I was looking at it like that.
Right. And see, some people don't realize that, you can have a soul tie with food.
Yes.
It's called, there's a reason why they say emotional eating. Where do your emotions come from? Your heart. What is that? Your heart is your soul set. So, yes, you can be tied, like all the trauma, all the things, like you said, you were dealing with, that was your vice. That was your drug, right? Yeah. That was your source of happiness at that time to just dive into food.
Yeah. And I mean, after you get a certain age, if you're not going out to the club, you're not partying or whatever, like if you get together with somebody, what y'all gonna do?
Let's go eat. Girl, let's go eat.
Yeah, let's go eat.
Come on.
And so that was kind of like the lifestyle. Let's go eat. Let's go eat. So I just had to learn to make better choices.
Right. But how did you get your mind there? Take us through that process.
Okay. So the mind part comes in. That's where the Soul Ties ministry comes in. So before I had the surgery, I cleaned house. And that's something that we're going to talk about. But
yeah, we're gonna pick that up. Yeah. We're gonna pick that up after we come from the break. But I just give the people, like, for someone who is like you, started with no discipline. Where did you get it from?
So first of all, I broke up with the guy that I was with because that was not good for me. That was a lot of the reason why I was.
So you had to do a lot of
eating.
Spiritual dumping.
Yes. Yes. And all of this happened right around the time that Soul Ties seminars came into
November. I can't remember the exact date, but it was the 17th. No, 17.
Oh, 2017.
November 2017.
Yeah.
That was when I began the Soul Ties movement in Brentwood, Tennessee.
Yep.
Yeah.
So all of this is going on kind of simultaneously.
Yeah.
And it was a mindset.
Yeah.
Like I was determined in my mind. I had broke up with the guy that I was with. I had literally cleaned my house, and I was like, I'm going to do this. I've got,
wow.
At that time, it was my dream job. I wanted to work in the music industry. It was my new beginning that the Lord had given me. And it doesn't matter how many surgeries that you have, if you don't get your mind right, nothing's going to be successful.
Wow. Well, listen, that is incredible. I cannot wait to come back from the break and dive into the mechanics of how Soul Ties played a part in the new dawn.
Yes.
Y'all, we'll be right back on the Gurrll Podcast.
Gurrll.
We are back on the Gurrll podcast. It is the Dale Lawrence Takeover. I am in the seat that usually Don Griffith sits in, but today she's on the couch. Why? Because it's a new Dawn. Let's get into part 2 of this Soul Ties Ministry. I come to Nashville, start the movement. This happens to be a God timing lineup because you're already in the process of purging.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how the Soul Ties ministry played a part in getting to the new dawn.
Okay. So I was working on my walk with the Lord because I had been hot and cold. I was smoking weed and going to church. Like I was like for real. I was smoking weed literally and going to service.
Right.
Because there were so many noises in my head. Like my daddy told me you'll never amount to anything. And the enemy would always say like this. The dude I was with, he was a narcissist, and the enemy would always say, "This is the best you gonna ever get." Like, look at you, like your mom and daddy didn't even want you.
Wow.
Like that's what I would play over and over in my head.
Wow.
And so, soul ties. There's the steps to get out of these toxic relationships. And not only was it toxic for me from a romantic standpoint, but it was also from a family standpoint. So kinships and skinships. And I did the steps. Like I took it seriously. I got the books.
Yep.
I read the books. I did the steps, and then I even started teaching it.
Yeah. You created the workbook before there was even a workbook to it.
I was like,
that is so dope. So you were so dedicated to it. So what do you think about the message and the movement of Soul Ties that pushed you to be like, this is going to be my launching pad of going into the new dawn? What exactly was it about the books that resonated with you?
That's a really good question, and they resonated with me.
We
they
definitely,
did. They resonated with me. The things that you write, the things that you were teaching, like all that resonated. And I started, instead of pointing the fingers elsewhere, I started turning it around on me, and I was like, if the Lord can do that for somebody else, I know He's going to do it for me.
Now that's good. You said something there, and this is something that I hope that all of our soldiers worldwide sense when they read the books, when they go to the seminars, when they listen to the podcast, when they watch the Gurrll podcast, is that you look at you. It's so easy for us to hear material, hear information, and then be like, such need to hear this. That's such and such right there. Blah, 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 blah. But I love that you had the hard set and hard position to literally use the materials the way that God intended when I wrote it, which was as a mirror effect. It was self-help, self-growth, self-development. Self does not mean them development, them growth. No, it's you. It's looking at you. What do you need to do? Because it's only so long you can blame other people.
Yeah.
At some point, you're going to have to look in the mirror and say, you know what? If I want my world to change, I have to change. I remember a long time ago, God told me, He said, when people don't change, you change.
Yeah.
And I said, God, what you mean by that? He said, people pray all day for other people to change, but it's up to that person's will to change. And if they don't change in the window of time, then you have to change. Ain't no sense of you. Some of y'all, on the wall praying for husbands, praying for wives, praying for your children to get saved. Listen, you need to cast your cares on him, go to sleep, and move on with your life. No, that's a word. That's for somebody out there listening because they have to want to change themselves.
Yeah.
But you are responsible for you.
Yeah.
And you're responsible for the timetable for which now God will give grace, definitely. But we all know that we don't know when grace will run out. And I'm not a gambling man, so I'm not gonna sit here and play with grace all day. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna. All right, now come on, now I think I got it this time. Give it to me. No. We have to be proactive. And that's where that discipline comes in. And I love how you extracted and gained these spiritual principles just from reading the book and being a part of the ministry. Because again, I believe it's because all of it is founded on the word. It's not my opinion. It's not a group. It's not a think tank. It's not a mastermind group. And then I'm pulling from everybody's different opinions and walks of life. No, everything that I write, everything that we give you in our ministry is word based for world problems.
Yep.
And I love how you developed discipline out of that.
Yeah. I mean, you have to. Growing up the way that I grew up in my teenage years, nobody was coming to save me. And I took care of myself, and I knew, like, I have that hustler mindset, and I knew nobody was coming to save me. Like, nobody's going to come and coddle you and say, oh, baby, you can do it. You can, no, you've got to dig deep, because if people aren't cheering for you, you got to cheer for yourself. You got to be your biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
And I became my biggest fan. And
that's good. That's dope.
Literally. Literally. And as the weight started to drop off, I was going to every seminar that I could. And that's something I want to say too. We visit cities multiple times, and I think a lot of times people won't come because they think they've been there. You can be under this anointing 15 times out of the year and get something new out of the same
every
seminar.
Time. Why? And why is that? Because the word is eternal.
Yes.
I think that's what people don't realize. This is not a scripted seminar. Now it has points, right? It has points. We have bullet points that remain the same, but the revelation, the expansion, it's always going to be spirit-led. It's going to be for the city. It's going to be for the room, the people that are in the room. God will speak directly to those people. And you don't have no problem going to church every Sunday because that Bible ain't got no new books.
Right.
Your pastor is preaching
so
from the same book, same verses,
so
but because the word is eternal, it means that those scriptures are weighty. They can mean one thing in 2017, and then you can read the same scripture in 2026 and get an entirely different revelation from it, because that's what the word is. It's eternal. Means it's a never ending well of wisdom and revelation that comes to you. And that's how these books are written. That's how the seminars are conducted and curated. It's all from that kingdom mindset. Now let me ask you this. When did you have an order, like, as to what the new dawn was going to look like? Like, was weight the first goal? Was getting detox from your past marriage and past relationships and past family issues and trauma? Was that the first? Like, did you kind of, was this a written thing? Did you literally plan this out, or were you just saying okay, the weight is number one, and then from there I'm gonna go bam, bam, bam? Like, what was the process? Walk us through that.
The process was the weight. I wanted to get healthy. I wanted to look good. I wanted to be able to wear whatever kind of clothes I wanted to wear.
Why was that the number one thing? Why do you think that the weight was the first priority for you?
Because that was the stronghold I had dealt with my entire life.
It was a stronghold. That's good.
That was the
And it's good that you recognized it too.
Yes,
See,
that
you gotta know your stuff.
yeah.
You gotta know your strongholds. You gotta know your vices.
You
You
got to
gotta
look at you.
come on now.
Yes.
Come on. Keep going.
The
Cook.
weight was the first thing. The weed, like the Lord even let me continue.
Mhm.
He's so funny, y'all. That's why I tell people all the time, like,
Mhm.
don't try to clean yourself up and then come to Jesus. Just come
Yeah,
to
just come,
Jesus.
man. He already know
Because
who you are.
I would literally, y'all, don't judge me because Jesus didn't judge me. I would literally, I was a wake and baker. I'd wake
Mhm.
up and I'd get high.
Yeah.
I would sit at the table on Sunday. This is so sad, and I'm so sorry, Lord. I repented, and He knows. I would sit at the table. I'd be watching preaching, rolling my blunts for the week. Like I was that. Like I had to have that weed,
Mhm.
like to get these things out of my mind. And even after I had the surgery, like that was a part of it. But I remember one Sunday. So the weight was the first thing, and then he started dealing with me on the weed. And I remember one Sunday I was getting ready to go to church, and I was sitting there, I was rolling up my blunts for the week and everything. I was watching Andrew Womack on the TV, and he said, "You are to obey the laws of the land." And even though this is verbatim what this man said, I'm in Tennessee. Even though in Colorado, for example, it's legal to smoke weed, but it is not federally legal, and you are to obey the laws of the land. And it hit me, and I was like, I've had the surgery, I've gotten my job that I wanted in the music industry. Like, weed ain't legal here. What if I got like busted or something,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like just threw all of this away because of something like that, and I was done.
Got
Like
it.
that was it.
Wow.
I was done.
Yeah. So your discipline really just strictly came from the Holy Spirit.
It did. Like the discipline to not fornicate, the discipline about the smoking weed, like it was all the Lord. And that was the second thing that he dealt with me on. But the first thing was the weight, and it was about getting my temple right. You know, like, okay, the physical part of it I was working on. Then he wanted me to start working on the mental part of it.
Okay. Now let's talk about the mental part. What needed to happen?
So the mental part of it, I know that any of you ladies that are listening and men that are listening, if you've ever had a weight problem, you know you can do every diet in the world, but if you don't get your mind right, it's not going to stick. And weight loss, I firmly believe weight loss is 99% mental.
That's
People will
good.
argue with me and say
That's
it's about
good,
diet,
man.
it's
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah, yeah.
exercise. And yes, technically, scientifically, it is.
But it's about
But
discipline.
spiritually,
Yeah.
it's that mind.
Yes.
Like
yes.
if your mindset is that I had a bad day, I'm going to go eat some cake. Or I had a good day, I'm going to go celebrate with a good meal. You have to get out of that mindset. You can't live to eat. You've got
Yes.
to eat to live,
Yes,
basically.
yes. Whatsoever man thinketh in his heart, so is he. In that text, heart there means your mind, your soul. So that is so true that wherever your mind goes, your body will follow. So that mental piece is so good, even to the point where I would flip it. Even though you did the body first, I feel it began first with that mental
Yeah.
purge and that mental pour. You had to purge your mind of all of the trauma, the drama, and then you had to fill it with God's word, the Soul Ties ministry that ministered specifically to the mental things. Because, see, that's what a lot of people get, misconstrued is that, they think that, okay, well, I'm going to church, so this is all the work that I need to do. And depending on your trauma and your background and your level of stronghold and all these other things, no ma'am, no sir. Yes, you need church, but you also need a coach. Some may need a therapist. Some may need a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Like if you really truly talking about reimagining and reinventing yourself, you have to really do the soul work. The Bible says, "Let every man work out his own soul salvation." So it's on us to do it, like you said earlier. It's on me. No one else is gonna save me. Nobody else is gonna come and get me out of bed and get me. No, I have to be fed up. I have to have a prodigal son moment and come to myself after getting tired of eating what pigs are eating and
Yeah.
smelling like they smelling. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I think that is so powerful that you said, okay, boom, mind first. Then we're gonna go on the body. I love what Deion Sanders said. He said when you look good, you feel good, and when you
Yes.
feel good, you play good, and when you play good, you get paid good. I may be messing up the whole order of it, but look it up. Deion Sanders, he made a quote like that, and it makes so much sense that physical, because it's not so much about vanity or doing it, because I want to, be prideful or look good. No, it's literally the work inside out.
Yeah.
Let me purge. Let me be awesome in here and in here, and then let's take it a step further. Let's let what's going on the inside affect the outward appearance.
Yes. Because if woo, that is so good because there was a point in this journey that I gained about 80 pounds back. And if you ever see me from this day forward and I'm gaining weight, there's something going on inside. Like it's not you're not
so the
one and
outward
done.
is a revealer of what's going on
Yes.
inwardly.
Yes, and that's with all of us.
Oh yeah,
that's
sure.
with all of us, and it's not a one and done thing. It's a process.
It's a process to get there, and it's a lifestyle change.
And it's a choice that you make.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things that I always talk about is if you're addicted to drugs, that's a chemical addiction. Like you can go and you can literally detox and you can have your mindset that you're not going to use drugs again and you can detox from drugs. You can't go without eating. Like you have to eat.
Yeah.
But you have to make choices.
And that's chemical. Eating is
eat.
chemical too. Yeah, some of the same chemicals released from drugs are released from food as well.
And especially the food in the U.S. Like
oh my
all
goodness!
These processed
because they injecting it. But when we get back, man, we're gonna talk about the destination.
Yes.
Now that you've arrived, and listen, I want to publicly say, I salute you. I'm so proud of you. I tell you all the time, but to really see all of this manifest as it has, it's been a sight to see. You watching the Gurrll podcast, you watching the new Dawn. We'll be back in a minute.
Gurrll.
We back with this incredible story of your host of the Gurrll podcast, A New Dawn. Man, we've been talking about everything. We talked about from the beginning. How much did you weigh?
Like 385, baby.
At your height,
I was weighing in at a football player.
385 at your height of this, and you made the decision of determination and discipline to go through this transfiguration and this transformation. And now let's talk about the surgery process and the 80 pounds that was gained back. Walk us through that.
Okay. So there was a point where I gained back some weight. It's probably about 80 pounds in total because I'd gained like 50, then I lost some, but then I gained. So I would say 80 pounds in total. I was having some issues with acid reflux, which you shouldn't be having that, when you have this surgery. So I went to a doctor. I went to a surgeon that does weight loss surgery, and he started doing some tests, and they realized I had a hernia. And that was why I was having such bad acid reflux, because where it was at, it was causing all that acid to come back up. And so he told me I was working at a different company and had different insurance at this point. And he told me, he said, because you have the hernia and you've gained some weight back, I can convert your sleeve to a bypass if you want to. And I said, Yeah, I want to. So we did that, got all that covered. I had that one here in the U.S.
Okay.
Same process. Like I was out of work for a couple of days, went back. Like the Lord has always anointed me to do something, and I give Him the glory for that whole thing even happening. Because if they hadn't have found that hernia, and like none of this would have been
Right.
possible.
Right.
Because I probably would have continued to gain because of what was going on mentally with me at that point, you know. And so I had that surgery, dropped the 80 pounds and stuff, and I set myself a goal. So this happened, I believe it was 2024 is when I had that surgery.
Okay.
And my same friend Tracy, she was there with me when I had it here, and I told her, I said, I'm going to give myself a year to get to my goal weight, and then I'm going to Mexico and I'm going to have skin removal surgery. Because same thing, I went to several cosmetic doctors here in America, and it was going to cost, I mean, ridiculous for what I was going to do, wanted to do. And, you know, insurance won't cover any cosmetic stuff.
Right.
So I started doing my research again, and I found the doctor that I wanted to use in Tijuana. I hit my goal weight, and I set the date. And I said, you know what? That one was a little more expensive. It cost, because of the procedures I had done, that cost me like $16,000 out of pocket. But I locked in,
Yeah.
and I just started saving and putting the money back,
Right,
everything
right.
that I needed, and bought my ticket, and I went by myself to
Wow.
Tijuana to have
Wow.
the skin removal surgery. And I just want to say this. People that I didn't ask anybody for permission to do anything. I talked to the Lord about it, and I did what I needed to do. Now, I'm a single woman, and it might be different if you're married or whatever. But for me, I didn't listen to the noise of, oh my God, you don't need to go to Tijuana to have surgery or whatever. The hospital staff, the hospitals themselves, I got better care in Mexico than I've ever gotten in America.
Wow.
There, if you ring the buzzer because you need something, they're there before you even put the buzzer down, like checking on you, making
Wow.
sure you're okay. Like,
Wow.
it is the best care I've ever received in my life, and I'm going back to Tijuana. I'm going to get some dental work done.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. Look, you made me move down there the way you talk. You done fell in love with it, ain't
medical tourism is a huge thing there,
you? Wow.
and it is ridiculous the rates that we have to pay here in America for the same kind of treatment.
Just
They're-
as good.
Yeah, it's just as good. Don't
Wow.
believe what you see on the news.
Right.
It is. I'm sure there's bad areas, but the medical district,
Wow.
it's not. There's nothing to be afraid of. The staff, they're all speak English. Like,
Yeah.
it's nothing. I went. I told him. I said, I'm coming by myself. Am I going to be okay as far as like taking care of myself and everything? And they were like, "Girl, you're going to have 24/7 care. Don't you worry about a thing."
Wow. Okay, so what is, now that the new Dawn is here, what can we expect? Is a book coming? Is a tour coming? What's the destination out of this transformation?
Okay, so I am still working. I want to lose 40 more pounds. I'm
Okay.
going to do that by my birthday, which is in October. I
Yes.
am well on my way.
All
I'm
right.
doing
all
what I
right.
need to do.
Focus. She's focused, man.
I'm focused. And people's like, oh, you're already little. No, I'm littler than what y'all are
Right.
accustomed to
Right.
me seeing.
Right.
But now it's about health. Like, I want to be the healthiest version of myself as I go into my mid 50s. Like, I'm running,
Lovely.
and
Lovely.
I am working out. I'm eating right. Now, don't get me wrong. If I want something sweet, I eat something sweet.
Yeah.
If I want something high carb, I
Yeah.
eat it. But then
Yeah.
I know I got to make up for it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on my protein goals. Me and protein, that's my boyfriend right now. It's a protein. But what's coming next is in 2027, I want to tour around the country like we do with Soul Ties, and I want to help other people establish that mindset.
With the journey.
Yeah, I want.
So
I
you're
want
going to
them-
create a curriculum and a talk to help others do what you did.
Yes.
Incredible.
Yes.
Incredible.
Guess what we're gonna call it? a new dawn.
Ah, that's
Because
right.
it's a new dawn.
For
All
you.
of us get a new dawn every day.
That's it.
It's the darkest before dawn.
That's it. That's your slogan.
That's my
That's
slogan.
Don's slogan.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay, so before we go, this is an incredible journey, and I can't wait until you take this on the road. It is going to be an incredible, incredible tour. But what do you say to that person that's watching that may be overweight, depressed, going through trauma, all of this, and they hear you? What would be your advice to them?
So here's the thing. I didn't realize that I had gotten almost to 400 pounds. And, we see people like on that 600-pound life show and stuff. You don't realize what you're doing until you're there. And then you wake up one day like, oh, shit.
Right.
400 pounds? Like, I never thought in my life that I would get that big. So to that person, I was never raised with discipline. Like, if I can do it, you can do it. You just have to love yourself enough to do it. You have to say that you're fed up with your own crap. Like, that's like, you got to be tired of you. Like, if you're constantly getting into bad relationships and you're constantly just bad with money, like, you need to look at you. Your picker is off, number one, for the relationships. Like, you need to take a step back and get some self-esteem. Like, thank you, Lord. It's about knowing your worth. You got to know who you are in the Lord. I could have weighed 385 pounds and finished out my walk with the Lord just as he had called me to do, but I wasn't taking care of myself. My body wasn't healthy. Like, my temple wasn't healthy. So you have to determine that you're going to take care of you. And you have to tell yourself, like, you can do it. And you might fall off the wagon. You may not have the means to go have the surgery like I had. You may not have the means to go to Tijuana and have the surgery. But I promise you, if you turn it over to the Lord, He is going to break those strongholds.
Yeah,
but you have to submit. He will never, like, if you want to be fat girl all your life, he's going to let you be a fat girl. Like, he ain't going to impose on your will. And you're going to get all the sickness and the disease that come with that. And, like, you can't blame nobody but you.
And I can't wait, man, because when you come and see her, when she comes to a city near you, she's going to have the step-by-step things she did. So, again, I'm a big advocate. So big of an advocate, I made a song about it. Look, you can do it, too. If she can do it, you can do it, too. Yeah, you can do it, too. Dawn, this is incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So proud of you. Thank you for having me here. The honor of interviewing you. This is absolutely amazing. So, listen, y'all. This is your new Dawn. So from now on, look, you're going to see an even newer one when she get to her birthday month. Her birthday episode. But you know how I go down each and every month right here on Soul Ties TV. It's the Gurrll Podcast. Love and Life Coach Dale Lawrence and a new Dawn Griffin.
That's right.
We signing out. Peace and love, y'all.